Hey, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to our collective reading. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on this adventure as we connect with Spirit. It means a lot to me that you're here. Thank you. All right, we're starting off with Moonology. It's sort of one of my starter texts to move into the reading gently. As I was preparing for the reading, I got a message about the last 5 years and somebody's motivations having changed, and that changing why they do something changes how they do something, which seems obvious, but it came in as like an important message. So the energy is gaining momentum. Ooh, we are headed in a direction and we are on the on-ramp. That's what this one means to me. We're on the on-ramp to the freeway. We're gaining speed. Might be a place where we plateau a little bit. We have to not gain speed infinitely. So that always feels like a slow down or like a stoppage, but that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is before we have to slow down. It's gaining speed. So I like this. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. All right. And I've got Tiger Breathing Bears under the Shell Oracle deck. This is a mess. Okay. All right. This is the main one. Aura. Whoa. Tigers. I feel like this is about protecting yourself, protecting your energy, protecting your time. Everybody wants a piece of you, and that's a little bit paranoid, but not because they're bad, but just because they need energy. We all, they need energy. So there's something about protecting your aura and being very self-possessed. Maybe making sure you're taking time to connect with the things that feed you, to shoot your energy back into yourself, to keep yourself for yourself, right? We're here to give, but if we give, then we deplete, and then we have nothing to give. It's the giving tree, which is actually a very sad, kind of pathetic story. So, at the end, there's nothing left to give if you're not taking care of yourself and maintaining yourself and keeping yourself and your energy and protecting your energy and protecting yourself. So there's something about that. So maybe as the energy gains momentum, it becomes even more important to protect your own energy. Yeah, these are both about energy. So something's speeding up, and in that process, you need to be conserving your own energy, protecting your own energy. And not just the quantity of your energy, but the quality of your energy also needs to be protected. Yeah. Yeah, the quality, the color of your energy needs to be protected. Worry and land of no return. These are both... You can't undo... Oh, this is Van Gogh's room. This is Van Gogh's room. You can't undo the past. And there may be a lot of concern about something that can't be undone, that can't be redone, that can't be... the uncertainty, there's an unknown... The unknown here, and uncertainty. There's a lot of... And this could be, again, why you're protecting the quality and quantity of your energy, because do not dissipate it on things that you can't change. Being very judicious about where your mind is going, about what you're thinking about, and the things that can't be changed. Don't keep going into the dark here. There's a sense that that's going to be tempting. Worrying about the land of no return, worrying about irrevocable consequences, or I want to say letting your mind go to dark places and being careful and cautious of that. There's an engine here. You're worried about car trouble. I mean, what's not to worry about? There's a heart here. Worried about maybe heart trouble, car trouble, motor. There's something about your motor here. Ooh, yeah. This is hold on. All right, this is the card that we have on the table. The energy, your energy, this is about, so it's just going to be easier for me to do this by talking about this card, because this is the card that we have on the table. This is about feeding your own vibe. This is about your vibe, feeding your vibe, taking care of your vibe. We're all just kind of egg beaters, beating in our own, we have our own structure, and then we also have our own rhythm, and we have our own vibration, and we have our own, what do you call that? Like pattern, energy pattern, sound pattern. We have our own, we're putting out our own unique frequencies, right? So taking care of your frequency, taking care of that. Yeah, that's the card that all of these equal. And yeah, and I saw this and was like, oh, this is that card. It's the taking care of your own vibration. And you can do that through like the body as well, right? There's that Mary Oliver poem, like the wild plums, about joy entering you, the sensation of joy entering you through your bodily sensations. So the delight of eating a plum and how that brings joy, auric, and vibration of joy through the body. So we want to be able to tap into joy even when our physical surroundings aren't fabulous. But this is definitely about the physical surrounding or something in your physical environment, taking care of yourself through your physical environment, taking care of your aura through what you're doing, what you're eating, how you're managing that. Taking care of your mind through your body is what I'm seeing here. Is a time for that. And then two more fell on the couch here. Parasite and they're here. Parasite and they're here. Well, parasite also talks about this aura energy and people wanting to suck your energy and the energy suckers we have in our life. And then they're here. Travel. It's not they are. It's not THEY. That's what I heard when I first said they are here. And it's not they're here, it's there and here. Being in two different places at the same time. And there is here. There's a unity. This could be about your future, about time travel a little bit, about being there and here. And maybe there's a dream state here that shows you something, a place in your future. Maybe there's some sort of vision you've had about a place in your future. It's being two places at once, there and here. That might be a bit of a dissipated energy, and we were talking about bringing the energy in and your own vibe in. I don't want to be judgmental about that. It's like, be there and here. That's okay. Oh, wow, that was... had a noise to it that I don't understand where that came from. Okay. So, yeah, there's like being there and here. I don't see this as bad. I see this as almost a dream state, or seeing the future in some kernel of your present, showing you the future. This also has a health aspect. And I think like we have a mental health aspect here. So, and we have a physical health aspect here. So I'm not 100% sure this is just a theoretical parasite or something like that. There could be illness here, but you're not to be worried about it. But there is like a, right, I don't necessarily see a parasite. It could be a virus. It could be cancer cells. It could be a bunch of different things. So the physical and the spiritual or psychological, you could be worried that it's too late for something. Anyway, drain on the energy, either physical or emotional or mental. And I don't know, this there here just seems to have a veil over something. All right, and then we've got the, I wish I had a little more clarity on that, but that's the nature of tiger breathing bears. That's the nature of this deck, under the shell deck, is that there's some vagueness and there's it's a lot of open to interpretation. There's no interpretive book. It's just what you are getting from this image or in this word. That's funny. I'm saying word and then I'm seeing Paris. There we go. All right, let's move on to the crow, the Urban Crow Oracle. This is interesting. We have caching, something saved for later. Scavenge. This has abundance vibes to it. We have so much, we can just bury some of it. We have enough to put in savings here, or we did put enough in savings here. And this has like a scarcity vibe to it, where we're having to scrounge around and dig in unlikely places and find less than ideal resources, but resources all the same. We're being very resourceful. And maybe part of that resourcefulness is digging back into the past, or where did you bury something? Where did you go? Oh, this is a scavenger hunt. There's like a scavenger hunt here. So I don't know if this is the same person. Like, I think someone buried something, and I think you're finding buried treasure. That seems very unlikely, but we're finding buried treasure here. That's what I'm getting. Someone's looking, it's a scavenger hunt. And yeah, there's somebody has something that somebody else needs here. It's interesting because it's got that opposite energy, the push and pull that we have there and here. And then we have like there and here, or something being hidden and something being found. Yeah, I don't want to go any further than that there. And then we have soar. So again, there's a travel vibe here with there and here and flying. It's reminding me of the freedom card we got last week. There's a flying here. The scavenge and cache. There's something else there. But hopefully I don't want to dig too hard for it. I don't want to push it. Anyway, soaring is like a lot of work's been done, and let that carry you forward. So there's a bit of resting on your laurels here with the soar card, of like you've reached a certain height and it's okay to plateau here for a bit. It's okay to coast. It's fun to coast for a bit, but the energy is getting, these are soaring. So maybe we're getting to the point where an ascension, the energy is speeding up. And then we achieve some sort of energy, or these are the same cards. So I'm soaring to me is like we got to where we wanted to go, and now we can just go, right? We're on the freeway now, and this one's getting on the freeway, and this one's like actually being on the freeway and sort of maintaining a speed in that sense of maintaining a speed. So maybe we're getting up to speed and we're maintaining a speed this week. It looks like it's a lot of fun though. So try not to worry about, I'm seeing like Dumbo a little bit here, of like I can fly Trying not to look down or worry about all of the details here. It's okay to kind of coast forward. And the scavenger hunt's pretty interesting, where somebody's hidden something and you're going to find it. There's a resourcefulness, though, for sure. Okay, and then we're moving on to the Good Tarot, which has me very curious because the Good Tarot is not my go-to. So why has this deck come forward? So, cutting the deck here, the well-shuffled deck. From the bottom, we have Messenger of Fire. Oh. Messenger of Fire. So this is like inspired, excited, a new idea, maybe impulsive. Maybe there's a little bit of an impulsiveness here. It's definitely looking to the future. It's something someone has on their mind, maybe some celebration. It's really interesting because the Messenger of Fire is usually like impulsive, intuitive. What is it? We don't know. We won't know until we find out. Like there's a quick movement, a fast situation that unfolds. But she doesn't seem, it seems very exciting, but she doesn't seem very stoked about it. She's suspicious, which I would be too. If some big idea comes in or somebody comes in with like, let's just do this right now. There's like I'm suspicious. So she's looking at this reading. I think she's very curious about what's going to unfold here. So this is already some sort of crazy idea somebody had that you might be a little suspicious of. And I think the Messenger of Fire, like I almost see her as receiving a message from the Messenger of Fire. And she's not quite sure that's right. Did you dot your I's and cross your T's on this? I'm going to wait and see because this seems a little fast, a little quick. So there's a wait and see energy, which is not usually what you get from Messenger of Fire, but I think that's like comes in after the kind of the proof's in the pudding. I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it idea, which is so weird because if I'm like intellectualizing this card, it's like this fast moving message, but I think there's some suspicion around how fast this is and what's going on here. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Wow, holy major arcana. I always like it when the stories feel a little smaller, like, and more manageable and more like your life's going to continue on. This is a bit bigger. So in the past, we have this love card. This could be the lovers. I don't know. We're just going to read this card because I get tired of trying to. It looks like the strength card, but it's not. But maybe it is. It's something you've loved long enough to stick with it, long enough to make some sacrifices, long enough to take some risks. There could also be a sense of stagnation here, or a sense of routine has set in, perhaps with something that at one time was passionate and exciting for you. A little bit of routine has already set in here. There's Leo, of course. Actually, I see Scorpio here more. And yeah, something you've loved, but there's a comfort here. It's a comfortable love. It's not a frenetic, crazy love. And there's sort of a threshold that hasn't been crossed yet. You're sort of taking a nap before you cross some sort of threshold. There's a gate. You're like napping at the gate here. A fortitude. What are the lions in front of the library? Like, anyway, they're here. And so there's this sense of having fallen asleep before crossing some sort of threshold, or having been put to sleep, or something's been put to rest. Is kind of giving some hangman vibes. Something's been put to rest, or something's just paused. It is giving me hangman vibes. Like something's paused before some sort of threshold is crossed. And there's a quietness. That's what's so interesting. Is this is supposed to be a frenetic proposal. But that, and then this person's looking at this like pause situation, or this comfort at where you're at on this side of the threshold. You're very comfortable on this side of the decision. You're very comfortable on this side, and maybe you're gathering strength. I think that could be the case. You're gathering strength. Right? Rest is the foundation of anything good that we do. And it just seems like you're gathering strength before ever having crossed some sort of threshold, or you haven't crossed over yet. You haven't crossed the threshold, but you're kind of resting up before you do, I guess. Current situation is 4 of fire. Oh, wow. This is the crossing of the threshold. This is the 1111 card, the engagement card, right, we have, again, a portal, a threshold being represented here, a threshold being represented right here and right here. This going through the eye of the needle, or passing through something. There's a celebratory vibe. I think something's been on pause, and now it's beginning in earnest. There's some sort of commitment or promise. It's like getting a roommate, and that sounded so. That's really interesting, because that came out of nowhere. But it's like you're not going to. It's a commitment to a future together, like. Whether it's romantic, and that's just what I mean, whether it's romantic or friendship or something like that. There's some sort of threshold that's being crossed that represents a commitment to a future. And so it won't be as simple as walking away once you cross this threshold, as walking away from something. There's some entanglement here. But there's a public announcement as well of there's a public announcement of some kind of togetherness, or some kind of, we intend to do this together. There's a letter of intent or earnest money going down on a house, and maybe you like pause the whole process, and now you're putting the earnest money in, and now you feel like free to announce to your friends and family that you are buying a house. Now it's enough of a step where you can start talking about what's going on here. So there's some sort of commitment, or maybe it's like you wrote something and it's being optioned for a movie or something like that. So it may not happen, but we're committed enough. There's enough of a commitment where we can claim that as part of who we are and part of what we're doing. And there is always a public element to 4 of fire too. So your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. 5 of earth, you're worried about being broke, being left out, being left behind, about not having what you need. It's the scarcity. You're worried about having to scavenge, having to just take whatever you can find. But it looks like what you find is something maybe you left for yourself, like a clue, maybe. It's almost like you Hansel and Gretel'd yourself. Like you could have left some clues for yourself to find, or some sort of crumb trail. Or somebody has. You're worried about being broke. Like, especially if you like make a commitment or losing something. Maybe you're worried about losing your job, or being laid off, or some sort of financial issue. Or being left out, being left behind. Maybe someone you know is announcing an engagement, and you're like, well, am I going to be invited to the wedding? I don't want to be left out. I don't know what the big deal is about weddings, but so this 5 of earth, though, is like, you got scarcity on your mind. And I think we see that right here. That absolutely mimics this. You've got worry, scarcity, You could be worried about going into debt for something and not being able to get out of it. Yeah, you're definitely worried about some kind of scarcity. And then we have, here we have the Devil card, 15 reversed, which is good. It's like getting out of an addiction, getting out of a commitment, even as you make another commitment. Something that hasn't ultimately been healthy for you. But this is what's interesting, is I see you loved it. You loved it. There was a lot there. There was a lot of potential there. There was a lot of excitement there. This is a broken contract. This is either a broken contract or getting out of something that's actually been really difficult to get out of. And it could be mentally difficult to get out of, because we have this like worry about not being able to get out of something, worry over the land of no return, worried about being able to shift, maybe even shift like career, or shift out of something. Like maybe you invested quite a bit into something and you're not sure you can pivot out of it. But this is like figuring out a way to get unstuck. And it's hard because the thing that you're stuck with is like something you love and something that's brought you a lot of joy and delight, and you really care about it quite a bit. But it's interesting because there's a commitment here, but you have a lot of fears about this commitment. You have a lot of fears about saying, yes, I'm going forward with this. Yes, we're going to do this. Yes, I'm scheduling this. I'm putting it on my calendar. I'm scheduling it. But somebody may be getting out of something, a contract, maybe being broken or gotten out of. But this is about somebody releasing themselves from a commitment somehow, which I think has come up a few times. Someone releasing themselves from some kind of commitment recently. And it's hard because it's something you love. Like, so, if you love alcohol, if you love drinking, just as the easiest, lowest hanging fruit example, if you love drinking and you stop, you're not stopping something you hate, you're stopping something you love, which is what makes it difficult, right? So you're doing the difficult thing, and it almost seems like maybe you've even made a commitment to, like, on this day, I'm going to stop doing this. On this day, this is over. But it's something you kind of took a pause and a think about and sort of gathered your nerve to do, to get out of something. And it maybe even isn't an official commitment. It's just like something that's entrapped you or enslaved you in a way. In your environment, you have Page of Air. So this is a person. This could be an actual student that's going to school. They are getting ready to ascend, ready to grow, ready to do something. They are preparing themselves to fly. And I feel like we have like there's almost like 3 different stages of something. Maiden, mother, crone. So here we have the maiden, the mother, the crone. We have the preparing to fly, we have the flight, and then we have the soaring. We have achieved the altitude, cruising altitude. And there's almost like 3 stages of something. Do we do that in all one week? 3 stages of this sort of fast moving energy that maybe has you a little bit worried about. You are currently worried about like either finances or losses or financial losses or having to liquidate something. You are currently worried. Someone here is going to school. There are a lot of people going to school, and we probably know a bunch of them. But this is specifically about a person that's just starting that process. And maybe you're having to pay for school, and they like declare what school they want to go to, and you're like, I have to pay for this? Oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? Or someone's going into debt to go to school, which is normal. But it's not you, it's somebody else. And there's concerns about, there's financial concerns, but someone's going to school. So it could be a child or somebody you know. It's related to somebody is, and it can also be like someone's just learning about something. So it doesn't even have to be a younger person. It can be someone going back to school. It can be someone just starting like when you get your diver's license, you have the whole book part, and then after that you have the practical part. So this is the book part. Someone's learning the book part of something. They're just reading up on it. They haven't really gotten there. They don't have the mask on, they don't have the suit on, they don't have the oxygen mask on or the oxygen tank on. They're just reading about how that all works and getting a basic understanding of that. It's a new topic. Someone's got a new topic. They're just learning, just figuring out a new job. And that doesn't mean that they don't have this other stuff going on. Or they don't have any experience. It's just something that's new to them. Your to-do list is Fortune's wheel. I feel like when I read this, I feel like just rolling with the punches. Again, we have something you love. Just roll with it. You're just rolling with it. I also feel like this could be a road trip. I think there's enough about the energy gaining momentum, the soaring, the preparing, the soaring, the reading up on something, the land of no return. We have two place cards, the land of no return, and there and here. Two cards about place. This always reminds me of a town on the Oregon coast. I think it's Newport, and it's like an old town. And this card looks exactly like the street there. And so it looks like with this wheel of fortune in particular, I feel like this allow luck to find you. Believe it's something about just rolling with it, but I do feel like there's a road trip involved or something about a car involved. Rolling, there's a rolling. It's like this energy gaining momentum, right? We already had like getting on the freeway, like the on-ramp. And this is to me, this is like surrender, let go, let the energy take you. Like you take care of your energy, but let the energy take you. Let the process be open to unexpected things. Like the image that's coming to mind is that you are in an inner tube, which is also a wheel, right? You're in an inner tube on a river, and you have to let go of the shore. It's time to let go of the shore and let this energy take you. Let the universe. Let the universe do the things that it does without your control, without your say, without your, I don't want to say without your intention, because the intention's important, but let the universe. Let it do its thing. Like you take care of your energy, you take care of your mind, you take care of your stuff, and let the universe do something. That seems really passive, but watch. There's a watchful energy here. Everything's very interconnected. So everything is very interconnected. I almost see like a cruise too. Like I'm looking out the little port window, the little port, the little round or the round windows, on ships, looking out those windows, watching the world go by. Yeah, there's something about allowing the universe to move something forward and just watching it unfold. Maybe you're watching somebody else gain their wings and learn to soar, but there's a sense of just surrendering. You set your intentions, say what you want, but the surrender is Fortune's wheel. Maybe you're also like leaving clues. Maybe you're caching too. And so that when somebody's scavenging someday, they can find what you what you, it reminds me of geocaching. Yeah, maybe you're going on a little geocaching trip. Like, it reminds me of that. Like, when somebody's intentionally set something out for you to find, and you'll find it. I don't know. This fortune wheel, it talks about movement to me, and it talks about looking out the window and watching, being watchful, looking out the window at the world going around. And then where do we end up here? The world. Watching the world go around. Just observing. This Wheel of Fortune is coming in to me. It's very strong. Just watching cycles unfold, watching things. And which is just such an interesting idea for Wheel of Fortune, Fortune's Wheel. The world, it brings something to a close. It closes a chapter in your life. Maybe you have a student going off to school and now you have the empty nest. And then, or maybe you, it's the end of an era. And it's just kind of like the movement without moving. Like when you're in a car, you are moving, but you're not moving. You know, you might do a little steering, a little correcting here, but you're not moving. You're not running and making the motion happen. You've already set a bunch of things up to roll, to unfold, to roll forward. And that's, I think, what the energy is gaining momentum is. And then end of an era is here. You're just kind of, I feel like you're watching the end of an era. You're watching, and the world can also be travel. So there is like a lot of travel heavy stuff in this reading. So that may be for you, that may be, yeah, there's a key here. Maybe you're getting a new car. Maybe you're, yeah, so the World card is the end of an era. End of an era is coming. A birthday, it can be a birthday, it can be a celebration. It's these, both of these together are just huge forces moving around you, moving through our lives, our lives are moving. We are on these giant planets that are moving through this giant universe. There's a lot, there could be some astrological significance here. And I feel like with these two cards together, I feel like we're inside of a clock or inside of a watch, you know? And time is moving forward. And we're just watching history unfold, watching things unfold from some sort of safe zone. We're safe within this wheel and we're watching something, and it's the end of an era. 21 too feels important to me. The number 21 here on this world card feels to me like, right, of drinking age or of a sort of coming of age. Like the age of minority is over now. Well, that's 18, but 18 and 21 are both significant ages in American culture. So there could be something about the end of an age, the end of an era in your life. And watching these bigger things unfold, watching history unfold, watching kind of being along for the ride on this planet, right? Seasons changing, watching seasons change, I think is what I'm feeling. And feeling like you're watching the clock or you're watching the time run out. You're watching the clock. There's just something about a cycle and you watching the cycle complete and you watching the end of an era. And it's a cycle that's maybe larger than your lifetime. So it's not maybe something that you've seen the ending of the cycle over and over and over again. It's like you're watching something, you're watching the world turn basically. Yeah. All right. Well, that is, or there's travel involved or there's travel involved. But this ending, and maybe you're being freed of something. Something comes to an end. Could be a way you see something. Yeah, something comes to an end, and it's ending, and you're kind of along for the ride here. it seems like somebody else is the actor here, right? Somebody else is the, this page of air, perhaps. And you're there to just observe the cycle ending or the new era entering. Okay, and then we're going to do the spirit animal oracle. Starfish. This is probably one of my favorite mantras of all time. Be open to infinite possibilities. The starfish. We have the world, the stars, very cosmic, very big. Like I said, when these big energies, big endings. This isn't just someone, this could be someone graduating or something like that. This isn't just somebody ending of the school year. This is like, we're in the school year ending season here. So, but for somebody, this isn't, and it's significant. And it ends a commitment or something. Maybe you have someone graduating from college and you put them through that or something like that. And you're broke now, but this era is over. And then being open to infinite possibilities. The starfish. Oh, this could be also the parasite energy as far as like paying for somebody or having your energy taken or used. And you're taking your energy back for sure. Anyway, starfish. Infinite possibilities. Once these cards all get on the table, I mean, this is like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Like, and how they all interact, that's infinite, actually. Those are infinite possibilities of how to read this. So anyway, be open to infinite possibilities. I love that mantra, and we'll just keep that in mind as we watch this all unfold. All right, ciao. I love you guys.